Good morning friends. In today's video we're going to discuss about DSD persons being allowed to participate in women's sports. Let me give some latest update. Algerian boxer Imane Khalif ensures medal at Paris Olympics amid gender row. Despite being in the news and facing all sorts of criticism, she manages to secure a medal for herself. If a woman falls into the DSD category, she will be possessing XY category chromosomes in her genetic composition. This means she would be having as equal traits as a man who has gone through the puberty phase, like she would be having greater bones density and greater muscle mass and strength and stamina. People tend to forget one thing, that she hasn't chosen this life. No woman likes to have male characteristics. But when it comes to the combative sports like boxing, your ultimate aim is to target your opponent's head. Because you are having XY chromosomes, naturally you will be having longer limbs, greater strength. When we compare with normal women, you will be having a greater reach to land a punch. Let's try to understand the component of genetics in sports. Like if we take the example of basketball, if you are a player of 5 feet 5 inches or 5 feet 8 inches, you are competing against the big giants like 6 foot 10 inches guys, 7 foot tall guy and 6 foot 11 guys. Obviously, because of their genetical composition, because they are blessed with that sort of height, they will be having more advantage compared to you. Generally, if you observe these bodybuilders, they tend to put on more and more muscle when compared to the other guys because they are blessed with good genetics. Just observe their skeletal structure. You will be able to get a point that their structure itself is different from normal human beings. Let's take other sports like running and sprinting and marathon. You will be able to identify that a particular racial background people are able to excel in that sport. Obviously, your genetics plays a greater role in excelling one sport. What are you going to say in such scenarios? Are you going to call it as a foul play? Or you can accept that they are genetically more blessed to play that sport or excel in that sport. Initially, when this controversy surfaced, I did some research on cultural and sporting nature of Algeria. I found that their society doesn't accept LGBTQ people. If you are a man trying to look like a woman, if you are just sporting and lipstick, or you are having some sort of eyelash or some sort of makeup, people will treat you like outcast. There are instances that people have burnt on their houses and killed that particular person along with their family. In the year 2023, 11 people got killed and mob lynched because there were rumors stating that they were cross-dressers. People never gonna accept a trans person as woman in that country. Just imagine what kind of hardship she might have faced in her own country growing up because she was trying to relate with her peers. They were distinctly different from her. What sort of trauma or trouble she might have gone through. As a matter of fact, if I have to blame somebody, I am gonna blame the Olympic Association, which drafted the rules. They just considered specified gender in that passport and they took it on face value. In previous instances, people used to conduct this test of cheek swab test just to determine the sex of that person. Let me address the elephant in the room. Why this controversy got so much traction? It's because few countries like United States of America and Canada, which are allowing biological male persons who are identifying themselves as females and getting an opportunity to participate in female sports. We have on record so many biological males identifying themselves females are able to participate in female sporting events like cycling and swimming, and they topped in that. Just take the example of Leah Thomas, where she got opportunity to participate in women's swimming event and she topped that event. This opened Pandora's box, where women rights activists are making a valid point stating that if you are allowing a biological male who has gone through this puberty phase, who is already having so much of like greater bone density, greater muscle mass, already they have longer limbs, by inheriting their genetical lottery, they're going to win every female sport. People are talking about diversity, inclusivity and respect for each and every individual. Where is the inclusivity for women? Why can't we chart a plan where we consider all these inclusivity, diversity and respecting individuals' identity and their life choices? We could have 3 different sporting events, one for male, one for female, one for trans people. And we can foster a competitive environment where we are honoring every individual, no matter what their gender is. At least from now onwards, international sporting committees and communities, they must frame rules and guidelines. They must state their rules and guidelines prior 6 months before any sporting event, so that it will give a chance to those athletes who want to participate in these events, whether to prepare for that or not. It would bring greater transparency in the sports. Athletes doesn't have to go through this humiliation process. Neither their coaches, neither their families, neither their countrymen. At least from now onwards, these advocacy groups must educate the society about these DSD people and the kind of challenges they go through. Let me emphasize my stance on this topic. I have full empathy for these DSD persons, but I will not support the concept of a biological male is getting an opportunity to participate in female sporting event. We must try and work hard to champion these people's rights, but not at the cost of females' opportunity. We're already living in male-dominant society where females have very few opportunities to excel. They are struggling to make a point in the society. They're struggling to get recognition. We shouldn't make their lives more hard by championing trans people's rights. As part of my closing remarks, I would advise you to read this beautiful book, Unnatural Selection. You will be able to understand the crux of the problem. Until then, this is Gautam signing off.